took a dump in your hand. You said most, but that's not a peer-reviewed study, which means you're using lying language because you're attempting to speak for people you've never spoken to.
What's up, guys? It's JQ, and in this video, I want to talk about female dating coaches and how many of them are actually keeping their female clients single rather than helping them get into healthy relationships. So this woman has been coming up on my feed a lot lately, Chantale, Canada's dating coach, and she has an opinion about body count in a woman's past, and she doesn't think men have the right to care about this information. And as we know, that's not correct, but I'm going to share with you my views on the subject later on the video. Let's check out what she says, and then we'll get into it.
How you doing?
Yeah, what topic are you here for?
I just joined the live. I haven't heard any of your discussions. I'm from Greece. I just want to comment on this statement.
Wait. I hear a lot of words, but not an answer, Donald. What topic are you here for?
About the statement that I read.
Let's start with the fact that she already knows what he's calling about because the topic of her discussion is body count doesn't matter. So she's just being facetious by saying that.
Body count doesn't matter.
Thank you for answering the question. That's my debate topic. It's a facts over feelings debate, not an individualized debate. That means I'm not debating you on you, meaning you're not the subject of this debate. We discussed this in a factual or scientific way only, which means you don't start a sentence with, I think, I feel, my opinion, my experience. Donald, are you here for a facts over feelings debate? Yes or no?
Okay, so pausing there for a second. So, for starters, she's not really interested in having an intellectual discussion. She wants to create all these ground rules just to trap men into so that they don't have an answer, so that she can shut them down, so that she can kick them off the channel. This is not about having a debate. This is about just trying to belittle men and make them look stupid and small for the entertainment of her Instagram clients. If she wanted to have an actual debate, she would listen to what this guy had to say. Not everyone is going to come to a debate prepared with a list of studies to back up their discussions, although that would be a great idea. More on that in a second.
Or no?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. A little bit of ground rules before we start. A fact would be like this. Would you agree this is a key?
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
That's a key.
Me too. A fact is something outside of you and me, agreed upon on site because it is so obvious. If you want to bring a science, you have to bring 4 pieces of information to prove what you're saying is not a lie. Title of the peer-reviewed study, website is on, page number, paragraph number, where the study says safe consensual sex has this negative result. You give us that information first. We'll go find what you found, and then you can say it out loud. And this is how we make sure there's no amplification of lies, fear-mongering, or disinformation. Is that fair?
Okay, yeah, but I don't have any studies with me.
So you don't have a science. Did you have a fact, something outside of you to bring?
Yeah, but can I ask you this? You wouldn't mind if your partner has been with 1,000 women?
This is not storytelling time.
Okay, Chantal, so since you're so concerned with the facts and the science, I did a bit of research myself, and yes, you can find plenty of information to suggest that women who have been very promiscuous and had lots of sexual partners do not make as good of wives as those who've had fewer sexual partners, and that should be obvious, but let's take a look into the science. The most famous study is by Nicholas Wolfinger. This was published in 2022, and basically what he found is that the more sexual partners a woman had had, the less likely she is to stay married. So, starting with 0 sexual partners, there's an 80% chance that she will stay married. And that just kind of goes down. 1, 2, 3. The more partners she has, the less likely that she is to stay married. Why is that? Well, I think it has to do with the fact that women who have been with a lot of men are less able to pair bond with a man, and they're also more likely to think that there's just another guy, there's another guy available, and so they don't put the same weight and emphasis on the relationship that they're in because they think that there's always somebody else because they've had sex with a lot of different men. And that's a problem when you're thinking about your wife. You want her to really prioritize and feel that you both need to make this work, and men are typically a lot better at that. Let's look at a few other graphs on the subject. Okay, here's another study from Family Studies. Basically, the bisexual partners, how likely it is that a woman would be divorced after 5 years. The more partners it is, it essentially goes up. There's a little bit of a leveling off here between 2 and 6, but then it starts to go up again. And they only tracked up to 20 sexual partners. And as you may know, there are women who have had a lot more sexual partners than that. Here's another one from the same group of studies, basically grouping women by whether they've had 0 to 9 sexual partners, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, or 30 plus. And essentially, at each grouping, the likelihood that she is still married after 5 years goes down in each bracket. Hey guys, if you're finding the insights in this video useful, I highly encourage you to sign up for my free email newsletter. This newsletter is chock full of value. I share my thoughts on dating and relationships in the modern era, and it's completely free. You can sign up for that in the link in the bio below. And if you would like to meet and keep the best quality women in your life naturally in a way that doesn't require you to go out and do pickup or anything weird like that, go ahead and book a strategy call with me. The link is in the bio as well. And let's see if one-on-one coaching is right for you. Back to the video.
This is a debate using facts or science. Did you have a fact to bring? Yes or no? Because I am prepared for this debate.
The fact is that most people
No, you're
care
making
about
stuff
body
up.
count.
So most is a statistic. What's the title of your peer-reviewed study?
No,
What's
but
the
like,
title of the peer-reviewed study
okay,
that
do
says
you agree
most?
that
The study is Does a Longer Sexual Resume Affect Marriage Rates by Nicholas Wolfinger, okay?
If
There
we
you
You
ask
took a
go.
most
dump in
people,
your hand. No, don't talk over me when I'm talking.
okay,
So you took a dump in your hand, you said most, but that's not a peer-reviewed study, which means you're using lying language because you're attempting to speak for people you've never
Alright.
spoken to.
Listen to this woman's voice. Look at the bird hands that she used. Look at the way that she speaks down to the listener. Can you imagine being married to someone like her? And she's a dating coach. She's a dating and relationship coach. She's advising women on how to have successful relationships. In theory, I think not, because women who act like this are not appealing whatsoever, and they are going to be a lot less likely to find love and have a stable relationship.
Too, and I don't listen to people who lie by using
I'm not
lying
lying. I'm not
language.
lying.
So Donald, you're not the ambassador for people you never talk to. So if you're going to try to talk for other people, that's a scientific study called a statistic.
Okay.
Since you don't have a study and you don't have a fact, would you like to hear my preparation for this debate?
but I want to just ask you something.
Apparently no. Okay, so
Why?
I'm going to let you go because you're not prepared and you don't want to listen. So we don't waste our times on males who lack communication skills, don't want to understand the simple words coming out of your mouth, don't want to absorb any information, and have no respect.
Okay, so I think Donald could have presented himself more powerfully on this call, and he could have had a more interesting debate with her. But it was clear that she wasn't really interested in having any sort of debate in the first place. She just wanted an excuse to try to get him to break her rules so that she could kick him off the phone call, and so she could basically talk about how men are terrible and they don't listen and they're dumb and stuff like that. And that's not really helpful either. And I think what's really crazy about what she's saying is that to say that body count doesn't matter and that your own opinion and perspective doesn't matter is ridiculous, because men are the gatekeepers of relationships. So men absolutely do care about a woman's past and her body count, and essentially they want to feel like the connection that they have with their wife is special, and she hasn't just given that to a whole bunch of people, especially men that he may know, that may be in his social community. And for her to say that shouldn't be important to men would be like saying that when women say that a guy being tall or being wealthy or being successful or being an alpha male shouldn't be important to women, and that they should just be fine with having a beta simpy guy. And we know that that's not true, so it's absolutely ridiculous for her to say that body count doesn't matter. We all know it matters, including women. So this is what I find really disturbing about a lot of these female relationship influencers like Chantal here. She's actually willing to sell out women in order to make money. So the correct advice for women would be that body count does matter, or rather put another way, her reputation matters. She should not have a reputation of being a slut, being a hoe, in the place where she's looking for a long-term relationship, or that is going to significantly reduce her options when it comes to quality men, because quality men are not into that. So Chantal, rather than actually give women the tough love that they need in order to find the type of man that they want, she would rather placate them and tell them that they can do whatever they want and that men are just dumb and stupid and that should be fine. And that's just not the case. Now, I'm not huge on body count. I don't think that body count in of itself as an absolute number is all that important. I would never ask my girlfriend what, or someone that I'm dating, what her body count is in absolute terms, because in my opinion, the absolute number is a lot less important than how she did it. So all women in the modern era have had sex, okay? Good luck finding a virgin if you're over 18 years old. And if you did, she may not be that exciting or fun. She may be more loyal, but she may have other drawbacks that come along with that. And so what really matters is how did she do it? So if she's had a couple of long-term boyfriends over the years, obviously that's fine, okay? It means that she prioritizes connection and loyalty. And you know what? If she was a little bit she was a little bit of a hoe one time when she was on vacation, and you don't really know about that, and it was in another country, it's not really going to affect your relationship too much. What you don't want, of course, is to be with a woman who has been with lots of men in your social circle, in the town that you live in a way that is actually going to be confronted with you. You want to be essentially the only guy, or the only guy that she's been with in your environment, because that will ensure that it feels special to you, or it'll help ensure that it feels special to you. And so the advice for women is that if they are looking for a long-term relationship, then they need to be careful about who they sleep with. And they cannot just go around sleeping with a bunch of random men in a place where they are also looking to have a long-term boyfriend or possibly a husband, because that absolutely will ruin and lower their chances of finding the kind of guy that they'd really like to be with. So once again, I see with Chantal and a lot of these other female dating coaches, and this is a problem with just women in general and a lot of the other girls I've talked about on my channel, is that they don't stop to think about what actually matters to men. They erroneously think that what is important to them and what's attractive to them is what's going to be attractive and important to men. You see, women don't actually care that much about a man's body count, right? It is not really that important whether a guy has been with one woman or 50 women or even 500 women, right? And to a certain extent, men are often considered to be more attractive if they are perceived to be experienced and they are perceived to be desired by other women. I don't recommend that you hoe yourself out as a man either. You should have a level of discretion. But women don't really find that to be a deal breaker or all that important in general, okay? But it is not the same way around for men. Men value the purity of a woman, and they value a girl who has been careful with her body. And so when she gives it to you, it feels special as a result. And so anyways, these women dating coaches are going to go ahead and keep single women single and sell books that help single women stay single while pretending that they are going to find a man that way, and they're not. Anyways, guys, that's what I have for you in this video. If you found this helpful, go ahead and sign up for my email newsletter. It is in the link below. And I send out an email about once a week. And if you'd like to turbocharge this area of your life, if you'd like to meet and keep the best quality women in your life, go ahead and book a strategy call with me, and let's see if one-on-one coaching is right for you. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.